to the Supreme Court. There is new reaction this morning to the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas releasing his annual financial disclosure report. It reveals details of expensive trips paid for by the Republican billionaire mega donor Harlan Crow, including rides on private planes, high-end vacations. Justice Thomas has been fighting off a firestorm of controversy after a series of ProPublica reports earlier this year detailing the financial extent of Thomas's friendship with Harlan Crow. And joining us now is the Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He is notably a member of the Judiciary Committee. Senator Whitehouse, I appreciate your being here. You've said that this will not deter you from fully investigating the influence of Harlan Crow on the court. How is that investigation going? What are you learning from these new details?
Well, at the moment, we're in kind of a stonewall from the billionaire's lawyers. Several of them have all taken the same position that was recently backstopped by Justice Alito in what I think was an improper interview in the Wall Street Journal editorial page. But we're going to continue to move ahead. We have a variety of investigative tools at our disposal. The press has been very good about bringing out information. And this new filing by Justice Thomas is obviously incomplete. There are things we know he received that are not disclosed in his filing. So we need to understand why his filing is incomplete and what his theories were and his lawyers' theories that justified not providing a complete ethics filing.
Senator, I want to read you a line from Thomas's lawyer that was included in the release of these financial reports. And it says, in part, quote, "The attacks on Justice Thomas are nothing less than ridiculous and dangerous, and they set a terrible precedent for political blood sport through federal ethics filings." Your reaction to that framing and perhaps to that sort of escalating rhetoric?
I think you have to look through that kind of rhetoric to what the facts are. At the moment, both the Supreme Court and the individual justices and their lawyers are working very hard to make sure that nobody finds out what the facts actually are. No independent eye has yet taken a look at these disclosures, for instance. This is Thomas's own lawyers and the court's own people. So there's a lot left to find out. And I think if we focus less on the political rhetoric, in which Thomas's lawyers indulged a great deal, and actually look at the facts, the American people will be better served. But at the moment, we're having trouble getting out the facts.
And I trust you don't think this is an issue that's unique to Justice Thomas, or, you know, in your opinion, is there something wrong with the Supreme Court as an institution? How is that resolved?
I think there's an overall problem of right-wing billionaire influence all around the Supreme Court. The Thomas gifts from billionaire Harlan Crow are one, but then Alito went on his vacation with the trip paid for by one billionaire and the lodging paid for by another billionaire, also not disclosed to anybody. So there's a lot that we still need to find out, and there's a lot of billionaire influence that needs to be exposed because it isn't how courts are supposed to work.
Well, the robes are supposed to be black, but increasingly, I think a lot of Americans, they feel like they're either red or blue. The public trust in the Supreme Court right now really has plummeted in recent years. Just this morning, we gathered the figure that showed it's roughly like 40% approval rating, according to Gallup. Is there any motivation in Congress to get real reform done? Is the capital there for this to change, or are we just going to litigate it, you know, in conversations like this and nothing actually moves?
Well, an interesting sidebar to the politicization of the court is that Congress is politicized about the court. Republicans want to protect it as it is because it's delivering for their big donors. So it's really hard to move. But I think if we focus on the facts, we will learn enough about the misconduct at the court, and other judges will start to speak up more, and we'll get to a point where the Republicans realize this is real, this is not political, there is a serious problem at the court. We'll throw in the towel on blocking reforms, and we'll figure out a way to do this in a bipartisan way. That's my hope.
Another reminder that elections matter. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, we appreciate your time. We wish you a good Labor Day weekend. Thanks for visiting with us.
You also.
Next on Ana Cabrera Reports.